Probably the guy who insisted on snoring loudly into his microphone because his character was asleep while two other party members were taking their first watch. Welcome to the Twisted Pint Tavern. Today we're visiting r/D&D to check out the answers to what's the cringiest player you've met. Settle in for a ride, folks. This is gonna be a good one. There's currently a player in our campaign who's new to D&D. I welcome newbies, that's all well and good, and he's very enthusiastic about the game now. However, he's played maybe 4 to 5 sessions now, and read a bit of the rulebook. He likes to take way too much time out of the game arguing with the DM, and 99% of the time, he's wrong. Even when he admits he's wrong, he goes on and on about how he could have been right. This is the DM's brother. He once argued that 1 + 3 = 3. It's a very long story, but shortened, we were told that a certain location was 4 days travel from our current position. After 1 day of travel, he said we should only have 2 days left. I zoned out, so I'm not sure what his logic was, but it was a good 10 minutes of this. DM probably won't be kicking out his own brother, especially because we only have 4 players total, and only because a brand new one just joined. It's rough when the problem player is related to the DM. I do play D&D with my brother and my wife, so I hope that doesn't come up in my games at all. But yeah, unfortunately, if the problem player is the DM's brother, they're probably not going anywhere. Honestly, it's people who seemingly just refuse to learn what their class features and spells do. I was in a campaign with a ranger for over a year who had to be corrected every single session on the fact that Hunter's Mark did not give him advantage on attacks. It just added a d6 of damage if he hit. I also played for a short time in a campaign with an aberrant mind sorcerer who absolutely insisted that he was able to read the thoughts of everyone around him without the need of any sort of spell or item, and would ask the DM shit like, well, since I can read minds, what's this person thinking? And it devolved into the DM constantly going, since you think you can read minds, you project that they're thinking insert whatever here. And the sorcerer would get pissy if their supposed mind-reading powers weren't accurate. Then this reply, I love that. The DM just passes off the player's mistakes as a character's psychosis. This makes me think that I'd love to see the PCs explain their fellow party members from their perspective as if they were on reality TV. A reality TV themed one-shot would be hilarious, but probably very hard to pull off well. Probably the guy who insisted on snoring loudly into his microphone because his character was asleep while 2 other party members were taking their first watch. If you're like snoring into your microphone for a little bit as just a joke, just briefly, then it's probably fine. But if it's the entire time your character's asleep, you might wanna ease it off, bud. I had a player who I really should have kicked from the group way earlier than I did. But he was a friend of a friend also in the group, so I was trying to not cause problems. But to start with, he asked to play the Unearthed Arcana Mystic. Already off to a wonderful start. I hadn't had a problem with anything Unearthed Arcana before that, and said sure despite not having read it. Then he asked to play a character with multiple personalities who came out randomly, and one of them was evil. Definitely should have said no to that, but I thought it could be interesting. It was a problem. Then you have an evil character who has the powerhouse abilities of a mystic, which essentially can't be countered as they're not magic, and require no verbal, somatic, or material components for anything. Then trying to rein in the Mystic, I realized the Unearthed Arcana 4 Mystic is like 30 pages of ridiculously complex stuff, and it's not really all that easy to fix. Totally understand why Wizards never did. I tried to tone it down, but he was shocked and insulted by every tweak I wanted to make it more reasonable. The worst part though was that every Thursday morning, we played on Wednesdays, he would send me something he thought I'd done wrong the session before that he had an issue with. At first it wasn't every week, but then it got to be almost literally every week. Regardless of what happened, there'd be something I'd done. And the next morning he'd want to talk about his problem with whatever call I made or thing the NPC had done. Just made DMing every week a nightmare, as I was always super stressed out trying not to mess something up, and being stressed about that just makes everything worse. Plus, some of the things he was saying were things I genuinely was doing wrong or trying to work on doing better, so it's not like I could just write it off in my mind. Even so, like, helping out the DM from time to time is one thing, but just straight up saying, I think you did this wrong, weekly, that's just a problem person. And you know what? I happen to know a place where all the problem people get left at the door. It's the Twisted Pint Tavern Discord server. Come hang out with us free of these nightmares, submit your stories, your out-of-context quotes, and participate in our events. There's gonna be more Discord updates coming soon, so stay tuned. Time to tell the tale of D9. It's a long one, and I'm only skimming the surface. When I started playing D&D way back when, I got myself and a few friends together. At the time, it was myself, my girlfriend, her brother, and the brother's friend, D9. D9 wanted to play a wizard, and we were all down for it. He wanted to be the style of wizard that only did damage, so he chose the biggest spells. Fast forward to adding some new players to the group, and everyone's fine with it, except D9. He got angry and grumbly cause girls can't play this game. Eventually, once his character was level 5+, he rolled his super powerful spell, Firebolt. He rolls and manages to get 1 fire damage. The conversation that followed went like this. Wait, that's not possible. Yeah, it is, I got a 0 and a 1, so that's 1. No, D9, that's a 10 because it's the 10-sided die. No it isn't. It's 0 to 9, so it's a D9, obviously. This is clearly where he got his name. We move on from there to the ultimate cringe, his character death. He decided, as a wizard with an AC of 13 and level 12, don't ask me how he managed because I still don't know, that he was going to stand in front of the BBEG, the Demogorgon. He had this genius plan to counterspell whatever happened next. He got smacked by a +17 to hit tentacle and immediately evaporated into a dust cloud. D9 got so unbearably angry, and to top it all off, he stated, "Oh, so you're not gonna give me a burial then? You're just gonna steal my stuff?" When the other PCs went to collect his things after the fight. Yeah, you know, if you're kind of a dick, then I might not worry about giving you a proper burial. Like, if you died because you did some dumb shit and we wanted to be rid of you, we might just leave your ass in the cave. There was one dude who would play a fairy rogue and would say, "I never got hit this session" at the end, every single time. So I used my Cloud Rune on my Rune Knight Fighter to redirect some damage from myself to him from a dungeon boss, because I could see him within 30 feet of me. Please tell me it was enough to drop him, please. I hope so much that it was enough to drop him, so the one time he does get hit, he's out. I've luckily not had that many cringy players at my table. However, there was one who was just hard to play with. They were constantly injecting themselves into the scenes where they weren't involved, and worst of all, wanted to do all of the cool stuff. Like, I get that people like doing the fun, cool stuff, but you gotta share. The straw that broke the camel's back was when the party was infiltrating a bandit camp, and their method of distraction was to light one of the tents on fire with a torch. The party was really smart about it too, because instead of sending someone in and risking them getting surrounded, they just used a mage hand to carry a burning torch to the tent. This player, however, wanted to be the star and do it themselves. Note, this didn't come up during the planning talk at all. They were supposed to wait at the head of the camp and tank when bandits started running out, and they agreed to that. Then, right when the other player used Mage Hand to light the tent, this player goes, "And I'm lighting this one on fire too!" We just thought they misunderstood at first and tried explaining what the plan actually was, but they said, "I know that was the plan, but it's boring, so I'm running over here to light this tent on fire." The party spent like 10 minutes trying to convince them to not do that, as they were the least stealthy person of the group, again, a tank, and they really needed them to frontline. But this player refused to budge. The fight started with 2 burning tents, and the casters were left without their noble defender because they went off and played Pyromaniac. That player decided to not come to the next session. Alright, stepping back from the cringe a little bit, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and click that bell so you can become a Tavern regular and know when we upload new videos. If you haven't joined the Twisted Pint Tavern Discord server yet, what are you doing? Hop in there, because we have an amazing community. We talk all kinds of things from D&D to memes, and there's so many memes. But it's a lot of fun, and if you need some D&D advice or just want to chat with other people who enjoy the game, hop into the Twisted Pint Tavern Discord server and find us there. Oh, and if you happen to have a problem player at your table, just come order a cringe shot at the bar and I'll make sure one of the waitresses dumps a drink on them.